Okay, so first of all, me too. Come in. 2A. Morning. You want to take the vocab quiz with us? Because they're all whining about it. They don't want to take it. Do you want to take it? No? Out. Out you go. Out. Out with you. Okay. So, if I'm going to do, I'm going to go over this one last time, so pay attention. Don't be working on anything else. Pay attention to this. What? No. All right. 2A. If I want 2 A's. So I'm going to start, I'm over 3, up 3. So if I start here, over 3, up 3. You can use your handy dandy ID so it'd even be a straight line. That one. So once we're here, how do I get another A now? Exactly, but from the terminal point, right? Over 3, up 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So that is 2A, right there. That is on the test. Yep. Thank you. So, I know this is the easy part. Okay, so with vectors, you can't subtract. So you have to change this. You can only add with vectors. You can't subtract. So you change the subtraction into adding the opposite of whatever was there before. So first of all, I'm going to draw C. So C is going to go right here. It's over 2 and up 2. So there's my C. And now I'm going to add a negative B. So you just flip it, right? So you still go from the end. And so instead of going up 4, now it's going to go down 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is my negative B. So now my resultant goes from the terminal to the initial right here. And so that is the resultant right there. No. Okay, so everybody add A plus B plus C. Bless you. That's okay. Everybody's okay. We're all okay. So this is what you should end up with. Okay, so last, go ahead and do the 2C plus B. For this part. Yeah. Okay, thanks. Okay, so this is what yours should look like. Okay, so did everybody look like this? Okay, so on the test tomorrow, it's this exact thing with different vectors. You have to do those exact things with different vectors, okay? Okay. Okay, so on the yellow sheet for just a second, I want to do a couple of these with you. So if I'm given 2 points, how do I find the vector? Okay, I'm on the yellow one, number 4. Okay, if I'm given 2 points, how do I find the vector? So where do I start? Because all three of you. Right. So I'm going to start with Q. So negative 4 minus 3 gives me negative 7. And then 1 minus a negative 2 becomes positive 3. So what does the norm mean? Don't be dying in here. Norm. What does norm mean? That's where you're finding the magnitude, which is the Pythagorean theorem. So negative 7 squared plus 3 squared. So 49 plus 9, 58. So it's the square root of 58, right? Whatever that ends up being. What is it? 7 point? Thank you. Okay, so the next one, I want to find theta for the vector PQ. Another way I could say find the amplitude or find the direction, right? They're all the same thing. And so the only thing you know how to do to find any of that, what do you use? The inverse tangent. It's the only thing you know how to use. It's the only thing we have. So there's 2 things to find. The norm or the magnitude and the theta. You use the inverse tangent. The only other thing is the r cosine theta, r sine theta, if they ask for that. Okay? So the inverse tangent, I would use y. The x is negative, so you have to add 180, right? The x is negative, so I have to add 180. So, okay, it does cancel out, but is the x negative? Then you still have to add 180. So even if they cancel, you still add 180. The y doesn't matter. Is the x negative? Yes, add 180. 156 or just 50? Okay. Okay. So now I want the opposite vector PQ. That's not the opposite. So the negative 7 becomes 7. So number 8 asks for the vector PQ as a sum of unit vectors. So what do I add to make it a unit vector? I and the j. Yep. I know, it makes it a little smiley face.
That represents vector.
It does. So, and that only happens if you have a negative y only. But, so so the only time you add 360, y'all, is with the tangent, right? Because when you find r cosine of theta, you can end up with a negative number. Don't be adding 360. All right, how do I find 2r? So is that difficult? Are any of these difficult? No. So what does number 11 mean? What's number 11? What do I do for number 11? It's the resultant. How do I find that? You don't even have to do that. It's just the Pythagorean theorem, friends. This means the same as the norm. So it's negative 6 squared plus negative 3 squared, square root. And so the amplitude then, I take the inverse tangent of negative 3 over negative 6. And what do I have to add? 180 because it's a negative x. Y over x every time.